everybody has on Kisei Rosh, we start to seek him in Patina Kisei Rosh.
Just as we learned today, what's most important, that's really the sikkim of today. No doubt about it, a very important, a very effective part of our Yiddishkeit, as our Chashuchim writes in the Soyin Yoid Al Zev, is this wonderful yarmulka, the badge of honor, our status symbol, our identity, whether it's a chiyuv or not, whether it is chukasayim or not, it's really immaterial. This is something that the experience shows that this is what brings us our Yiras Shamayim, and therefore, besides the fact that it could be a chukasayim, besides the fact that it might be a minig Yisrael, but it's definitely the Yiras Shamayim that the yarmulka brings. In fact, the bigger the yarmulka, the bigger the Yiras Shamayim. There's even an inyan of by davening and benching to have an additional cover, but it's Oiti Yisrael b'Sephara. That's our crown, that's our teferes, and Chacham Ein B'Rosh to make sure that at all times he's doing as best as he could do. But more practically, if a yarmulka fell off, there's no reason to wait till someone picks it up for you and brings it. It's not a din in walking, it's a din in being without a yarmulka. The Gemara says Adar I is lav dafka, it's lav dafka outside as opposed to inside. It's basically being without a yarmulka, like being dalat kanfais without tzitzis. So the quicker you could get out of that predicament, the better it is. Even though a hand does not cover the guf, ein guf mechasa guf, but you put a sleeve or a jacket or a shirt sleeve, that's also a good covering. It's even when a person's going to sleep, you should definitely wear yarmulka, and even if you could keep it on during the sleep with a yarmulka that fits, a shluf kapel, that's definitely a ma'ila, maybe more than a ma'ila, but definitely at least a ma'ila that one should have. In a merchatz, there's no chiyuv to have a yarmulka as you go from the place of dressing to the shower or the mikveh. But after the merchatz, before you go, when you're getting undressed or dressed, the yarmulka goes off last, comes on first. And even in the merchatz, there were those that brought it till the edge of the mikveh, the bar or the shower. In a pool and lake is fundamentally different because it's not a merchatz, it's not zuam. It's not a place of oim marumim, so a person should certainly try to be mamayit in going without a yarmulka in both a lake and in a pool, unless what's necessary. And again, depending on the situation, the closer you bring the yarmulka, the better off it is. Stam schmoozing in a pool or mikveh without a yarmulka should be unacceptable. A water park, a medagtagin, tavalei and bracha. I wish there would be a better eitzah, but if there's no other eitzah, then we have to be saimach that there's basically not a lack of kavod shemayim, not a lack of there is an issa al pi shulchan aruch of saying davar shebekadusha shem Hashem or a bracha without a yarmulka. There are those that are makel, and if the question is that or nothing, an irreligious person, then you could have him make a bracha even without a yarmulka, because again, it's worse to eat without a bracha than to make a bracha without a yarmulka. B'di'eved, without a yarmulka, a person somehow daven Shemona Esrei, we hold he would be yoitza. That's what the place can say. Going into shul has a special kavod rosh that a yarmulka should be worn, and some say even katanim that don't wear yarmulka. Okay, that could be a little bit chiddush, but definitely to wear a yarmulka in shul has its own special chiyuv. Amen. Without a yarmulka, pashtus is mutter. It should be avoided. Shalom aleichem should be avoided without a yarmulka in a barber and a haircut, in a haircut or in a pool. Learning mi'ikir din. There are those that are makel, but if it's not covered HaTorah, they used to stand when they learned, that showed the covered HaTorah. But if the question is not, a person for some reason can't wear a yarmulka, so he shouldn't be yoy shabbatel, then you could be saimach that there is no chiyuv mitzad the learning shabbai. Hearer is mutter, certainly listening to a recording is only hearer, and basically when there's no eitzah, ein guf mechasa guf, as we said, one's hand is not a good idea, a tissue, someone else's hand, a sleeve, the Chassam Sofer says even if the covering is parts murba la'oimid, would be okay. Someone just asked, when he goes biking, it's hard to wear a yarmulka and a helmet, so just the helmet, even though there are holes in the helmet, but again, Chassam Sofer was making, even if it's parts murba la'oimid, certainly when it's oimid al parts, as long as you're showing a kisui and there's showing a certain cover to the shechina. The question is why a single woman doesn't wear a head covering. That's the minig. Sfaradim grada are makbid, so each follows their own minig. A married woman should consider her hair a makam mechus and just have a covering mitzad that by davening and brachis. One point I didn't mention, I wanted to mention briefly, is taking a job without a yarmulka. That's really a share for itself. But Rav Moshe and Chelik Dalas Mabei says perhaps today it's no longer b'chukei seim because the goyim don't wear a yarmulka or hat, not because of chukaseyim, it's just a laziness, it's just a callousness. So he feels that if it's no longer chukaseyim, it's only a din of minig, you could take the job if it means not wearing a yarmulke. Rav Shlomo Zalman, Halicha Shleima Beis, Ha'ara 88, is also makel, but I'm reluctant to say this because Pam told that someone that I know who had only one job without a yarmulke, says a mentor today could not take a job without a yarmulke, even though maybe it's mutter. So you have to know every situation, but there's definitely a tzad to be makel today. There's no b'chukei. And again, if it's a job, then that would override the Midas Chasidus of wearing the yarmulke. Ja.
Sie sind alte Zeiten, especially gegangen because they
Nicht Mamish?
because the ladies used to go in the church.
Yes, mit der Kat.
Mit dem Tag.
Oh, you came nur mit der Schädel, ohne ein Hittel an der.
Ja, aber macht mit dem so die Berubot in Nabu.
Mamish.
Aber das Chinesen, das Chinesen und so darf nicht sicher der